On the coming of the Lord, he is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath was born. He has loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible storm. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
Okay.
New start.
A new start. I just really wanted to start with that because I felt that we are in a war, we're in a battle, but the battle is the Lord's, and we're just merely soldiers in this war. And this is a battle. It's a spiritual battle, as many people have said and many people know. And
Unknown caller.
so I wanted to also begin with I choose these scripture verses randomly. I have a little box of 20 verses in them, and I just choose them randomly. And the one that I pulled out today was, "To you they cried out and were saved. In you they trusted and were not put to shame." That is Psalm 22:5. And if you know anything about Psalm 22, when Jesus was on the cross, his words that came out of him were, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Which are the first words of Psalm 22. And if you read the entire psalm, you can really see that it is about the crucifixion of Jesus. That it talks about they pierced his side and things like that. So I just wanted to begin with that.
And that kind of demonstrated his human side too.
So in any case, we begin, and I begin without any notes because something happened and I lost my ability to get them. So I just have to go on my memory. One of the things that is going on of kin in Minneapolis is just exploding, and the one of the ICE agents, there's a video out there of an ICE agent who rolled down his window and he was yelling at the people, "You're impeding me, you're keeping me from arresting a child predator, a person who is charged with a child sex crime, and that's who you're impeding me from arresting." And the people yelled back, "We're the press." And he said, "That car has been honking its horn and is obstructing my way to arrest a child predator. This is insane. This is who you are protecting." And this is one of the things that we've been saying is this is insane. You're protecting people who are committed heinous crimes. They're not, again, we've said this before. It was Bill Clinton who had there's that infamous picture of the guy with the rifle pointed at that little kid. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Well, it was very famous. I mean, they were deporting people or whatever. There was some sort of child custody situation, and it was all over the place of them literally with a gun like this, and this person had this child in their arms. It was Bill Clinton who talked a lot about the immigration issue. Just sounds just like President Trump. Obama himself sounded just like President Trump, talking about illegal immigrants and how we need, to deport them. In fact, one of his nicknames was Deporter in Chief, because Obama actually deported a lot of illegals. Now, of course, it's Trump doing it, so it's bad. But that ICE agent was not wrong. And I just do not understand this. I did see a psychiatrist who tried to explain it, and it kind of goes along the lines of, instead of being individuals, it's like a group think thing. It's like the whole group, whatever the whole group goes with. And you can say these people are paid to do this, whatever, but you can't pay. There's no amount of money that you could pay honest people to do stuff like this, to get in the way of a police officer. I don't care how much money they're being paid. It's a ridiculous situation.
Well, if you're like some of these people, it's a herd mentality, and
That's it.
they're the outcast people, kind of that gravitate towards, oh yeah, $20 an hour to go hassle police and guaranteed to get out of jail free card. Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
And Nick Sorter, just the other day, was down there with his camera, and a woman reached into his car and grabbed his camera, and he ran after her. And in running after her, she had jumped in her car. He ran after her. His hand got stuck somehow on the car handle, which is not hard to imagine that happening. And she drug him. I don't know for how far, but she took his camera and she was dragging him down the street. And the people were coming after him, and he is yelling, "She stole my camera." I mean, they felt justified in stealing. They feel justified in violence. And then, oh my goodness, Don Lemon, as Tucker used to call him, Don Lemon led a group of people into a church where it is said that supposedly an ICE agent attended that church or something. I don't know. But they went into the church and they were chanting, disruptively chanting something about this is for Renee Good. We're doing this for Renee Good. I'm sorry, Renee was bad. She did the wrong thing. She broke the law. She ran into an ICE agent. It's just like George Floyd 2.0. But what that sparked in me was, we've talked about this before. The church needs to stand up.
Well, I saw Don Lemon interview the pastor, and he did stand up. He said, Jesus Christ is the only salvation for this world.
Yeah, kind of. But what I mean is, I feel like they should stand up and fight back against this. Every church should have security guards in it. Those people should not have even been allowed to come in the doors. The congregation, from what I saw, they sat there and the people were chanting and yelling. I mean, the pastor did say, we're here to worship Jesus. What he should have said, in my opinion, is, this is illegal. You could be found guilty of a crime because he was committing a crime. The crime is called the FACE Act, which is, ironically, it protects churches and Planned Parenthood centers, abortion centers, from exactly this.
It prevented, it was what they went after, people who were simply praying on the sidewalk in front of a Planned Parenthood center. They didn't try to disrupt it. They were just sitting there praying.
Exactly. But these people were disruptive. And Don Lemon should be charged. That woman that was praying was charged. She was sent to jail. Remember?
Yeah, Don Lemon also made the mistake with TV cameras rolling, that where he said he implied that he was part of the protest group.
Yeah. Well, and he invoked, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's a holiday. And he was talking about civil rights. And I was sitting there thinking, Martin Luther King Jr. would be on the side of the law. He would be on the side of the ICE agents. They are not. In fact, there's a whistleblower from the Biden administration who was talking about the fact that the Biden administration issued a contract with a group of people who were deporting people, but they were known for human trafficking. They were a known human trafficking group. They were known for that. And the Biden administration paid them, gave them a contract to deport children, to separate children from their parents. That is a bad situation. And nobody seemed to be protesting that. And, she quit her job because she couldn't do it anymore. And we've had a lot of whistleblowers coming out about that. But my point, I want to get back to the pastor. Yes, he's right in what he said, but I think he should have gone further. I think churches, speaking of, I want to get back to Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He was a reverend. He was a pastor. And he spoke out against all of these for civil rights and used his pulpit to talk about it, as many Black pastors did back in the day. And then he believed in peaceful protesting. And that's what he advocated for. He advocated for human rights. He advocated for civil rights. But these people are not doing that. They're advocating for lawlessness.
These people are just one step from what the Revolutionary Guard in Iran does to their protesters.
Well, and getting back to the churches, it was churches that stood up against slavery. It was churches that stood up for civil rights. It was churches that, in all of these cases, and churches need to take a stand. And I've seen a lot of pastors doing that, coming out and saying they're not arresting little children. They're getting rid of child predators. And that's, that's what's going on there in that case. And I know I get all worked up about that, but that's just what happened with that. So we have all of this going on. We have Don Lemon out there. We have the ICE agents. It has been told that the National Guard is ready and waiting for President Trump to declare the Insurrection Act, I think.
Yeah, and what's his name? The governor has said, "Oh, we have our own version of the state National Guard, and they will oppose them."
I don't.
That's exactly what they want.
That is exactly
civil war.
Civil war is exactly, and that was another reason why I wanted to play the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I'm sorry, I found a lot of versions of that song, and I just thought I can't go there. And I don't know that we're headed for civil war, but I know that that's where they want us.
Oh, that's where they want to go. Yeah, I don't think the people of the United States are going to stand for this. I mean, the people of Minnesota, for some reason, have a higher percentage of people who have bought into this. And so the rest of them will say, well, they'll take care of it eventually. They know it won't stand, but they're not going to stand up against it just because there are too many powerful forces with money behind it.
Well, there was just recently, talking about governors in Maryland, there were 3 or 4 MS-13 gang members arrested for heinous crimes, where the governor of Maryland had stated previously, oh, they're not, the illegal aliens, they don't cause any problems. Well, apparently they do, and they're hiding behind this.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would say something like that?
All of these crazy governors. I mean, Tim Walz, they all say it. That we don't have any problems. It's like the mostly peaceful protest. I mean, it's just
that's
insane.
As bad as that guy standing in front of the burning building and saying that it wasn't burning.
Well, that's what the most peaceful protest. That's where that quote comes from. Is that guy saying, well, there's insanity abounds, and it just seems like it's just getting worse and worse. But here's what I'm seeing too: not only Iran and Venezuela, but we seem to be having a cry for freedom going on all over the world. The Alberta is having a vote as to whether to split from Canada or not. Now there are factions on both sides of that. There's no telling how that vote is going to come out, but there are lines and lines of people who are signing the petition because they have to have a certain number of.
When does that vote take place?
I think it's next month. Not 100%. I lost my notes. So
I want to get behind that.
And so, well, it's interesting to me because it's the Native or Indigenous or First Nations, whatever they're calling themselves, people that are against Alberta leaving Canada. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little discombobulated today. Without my notes, I'm trying to remember all the things that I wanted to talk about. But and the Germany is coming up on elections, and one of the candidates is running on allowing the people to vote on whether they want to stay in the EU or not.
Oh, good.
And so I don't know anything about this candidate, but that sounds like a good thing to me. Although when they voted for it in Britain, it didn't, it was just...
You just mentioned the Germans. They were one of the first airplanes on the ground in Greenland with troops.
15.
They had, I thought it was 13.
Oh, it was I think it was 15. They've already gone home.
Yeah, 2 days. They spent 2 days there.
Yeah.
The day after Brother Trump said more tariffs, they went, I think we'll go home.
Well, and in fact,
think of what tariffs would do to the German importing cars into the United States.
Well, yeah, and speaking of that, the EU had to hold an emergency meeting to talk about the situation about Greenland. They had to have that. They had an emergency. They called an emergency meeting because Trump is threatening to do something, and
there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
Well, you did a video that right prior to us doing this where you talked about the situation as to why we want Greenland and I will just say this, I'm not, I encourage you all to watch the video that Bill just put up and to subscribe, like, and share it. I'm not going to give it all away, but I will say this was funny. Somebody on Facebook or Twitter posted a question. I trust President Trump, but I don't know why he wants Greenland. And my answer was 2 words: national security. So I didn't really know the fullness of it. I just knew it was a matter of national security. And after
I can explain it in 2 words, and I don't mind doing it. Okay. Hypersonic missiles. That's why. China wants to put their hypersonic missiles in Greenland. That would be a 2-minute warning time for those in Washington, D.C. from the time the thing launched.
Wow. 2 minutes. What could we do in 2 minutes?
Run to the basement, I guess, but it'd be a crowd at the door.
Well, in D.C., they have all those bunkers and tunnels and underground places.
It would still be a crowd at the door. I've been in those.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't hold very many people. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it holds a lot of people, but you got to go through a door.
Oh, I see.
And if you get a lot of people trying to go through the same door at the same time, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah. Oh. Well, and on the other side of this, I keep getting going back to the Minneapolis situation. Pam Bondi keeps tweeting out things about the DOJ is looking into the Don Lemon situation. The FBI is looking into Nick Sorter's camera that was stolen and that situation, because there's videotape of all this. I actually, at this point, I trust the FBI more than I trust Pam Bondi to do what she says she do.
I'm beginning to trust her a little bit more. Some of the people around her have said stuff on TV in the last week, and they're reliable.
Well, that may be, but I still, I'm not so sure about her anymore.
Well, she's gonna be there, so we got to hope for the best.
Well, that's true. And right now she has said that they are investigating and are suing numerous states for not turning over their voter rolls. So they're working on that. What comments do you have?
Good Lord. Look at this. Look at these amounts of comments. I don't know. I just looked at it. I've been too busy listening to you to look at this. Yeah.
What? Anything you wanted to bring up?
No, a lot of people talking about Martin Luther King, which is very appropriate on this day, and there's nothing that's divergent from what we believe that he espoused.
Exactly.
We had just moved into Northern Virginia when that march in D.C. took place, and I just had my driver's license, and my parents are going to let me use the car to go down and see it, and I chickened out at the last minute. It was too many people, and I'd never driven in downtown DC.
Well, yeah, you just had your driver's license, and downtown DC is a scary place to drive.
It wasn't then. That wasn't that. I was only in the last 5 years when they really let it start to, the carjacking situation just got out of control. Any kid could run up to a car with a pistol that he stole from somebody in the middle of the night and get a car. It was crazy.
Well, yes, I was actually thinking about the traffic and knowing your way around and this and that, but then that would be me. I would be worried about. I've only driven in New York City a little bit. I wouldn't drive there today. I didn't like driving there then either.
No,
big
but DC is different. If it's not crime ridden, the streets are wide enough. You can get around real easy, but whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, you were 16. You were young. I can understand that.
No, I was 10. I was 10 then.
Well, you got your driver's license at 10.
I talk fast.
You're like soul.
Then I could talk fast.
then you could speak.
Now I talk slow.
Just slow. Well, as we were saying, we've got the situation in Alberta. We've got Germany running on a candidate actually running on allowing the people to decide whether to get out of the EU or not. We have the Iran situation that is, we don't know exactly what's going on. Every time we think that we're getting close to something happening, it doesn't. And so we're not really sure what.
I'm sure.
You're sure? Because you said in your last thing you thought the earliest could be Wednesday because of the carrier out there.
Could be, maybe, whatever. It's up to Trump and how everything interplays. The Greenland thing is in there, and I know he's going to do something. I mean, he's got to do something.
Well, he's also got to do something about Minnesota. I mean,
that is the head place for terrorism, and he knows he has got to shut it down in his term.
Yes, and I think he will. We just don't know when. That's anybody's guess, I guess, as to exactly when any of that is going to come out. But you did report yesterday on the fact that the protesters had managed to hack into the TV stations. And I found that to be, I just...
Somebody lost their head in Mulladum.
Yeah, in Mulladum. Yeah. Well,
but it just shows, they're not impervious to, any type of a strike. And you put 10,000 special operators in theater, plop them down in Tehran, and yeah, they're going to have a big impact and going to wipe out a bunch of Revolutionary Guards.
Well, and we need to continue to pray for peace. We need to continue to pray for President Trump that he will be protected from attacks on all sides, because they're getting more and more desperate. They're getting more and more bold.
Really, the whole communist theology is shaking and getting ready to topple. That's what's at stake here.
Well, again, I'm going to end the way I began, and that is churches need to stand up. They need to take a stand for law and order. They need to take a stand against all of these rioters. They are not peaceful protesters. They are rioters. They are attacking. That one of the things about Don Lemon was he was on the street, and I give him credit for this. Okay, he did something good. They were attacking CBS reporters. They were hitting them and whatever. And he did step in and he said to them, your beef is not with these people. These are reporters. They're just here to report. So back off. And I give him credit for that. Then right after that, he goes into the church and he's talking about, this and that and the other, and getting in the pastor's face
and saying, this is our battle. he said, "This is our
Right,
battle."
right,
You know,
right.
all therein lies a jail sentence.
I hope so. I hope they arrest some of the people. I hope they do that. But I also want the church to stand up and be heard and fight back on some of this stuff. Yeah, not with violence. I'm not talking about that. But they should have security guards at their doors. Every church should.
What are they going to do if 50 people rush the door and there's 3 security guards? You know, I see the church's problem, and it's better just, I don't know. I don't think I'd whip out my gun and start shooting them.
Well, I'm not saying that. But if you have a person with a gun, it might dissuade you from, I don't know, maybe.
If you've got a gun and you're displaying it, that means you intend to kill someone. You don't whip out your gun unless you intend to shoot it and kill someone. That's the rule.
Well,
you don't brandish a weapon. That's a good way to die.
Well, there's that. So I just still think churches need to be heard. They need to stand up. They need to talk about these things instead of, oh, we're just here to worship. I mean, yes, you're there to worship. However, you need to stand up about right and wrong. This is not a gray area. There's no gray here. It's black and white. It's right and wrong. It's wrong to come against it. There are legal ways to fight something you believe in, and there are illegal ways, and you all have chosen the illegal way. And so, are there any comments?
Rob Torres, Trump will send in active duty troops. Yep, they're already massing. Alberta, our next state, I hope. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they want to. Yeah, they want to be independent, some type of close association with the U.S. That's up to them.
They want independence. They don't want to just. I that's what I hear is they want independence. They don't want to just jump from being under Canada to being under the U.S. They want their own state.
Well, they're potentially the richest territory in all of Canada because of their mineral wealth. Let's put it that way. It's the wealthiest of all the Canadian provinces. Mineral wise.
How big is it? Do you know?
It's about.
That's like, it's not very far. It's just an inch on the map.
But it looks like it's the size of Montana, but I mean, it goes north. So, there's the effect of, if you flatten the map out, what does it look like?
Does anybody out there know what is the population? I guess I meant to ask. What is the population of Alberta? Then nobody. I
don't see anybody standing up real fast.
Okay. I was just curious because I was trying to figure out. Actually, I'm kind of stalling. I'm trying to, in my mind, remember all the other things I had in my notes that I wanted to bring up. But this is called winging it, I guess. What do you see? You see something interesting, hon?
Oh gosh, there's so many comments.
Okay.
We should be troubled by such a thing. Oh yeah,
Well, I think that we have, or unless you have some.
Nope,
nothing. Okay. I do want to give a shout out to Dalton. Dalton, I don't know if you're there watching, but I made an announcement yesterday. No, I didn't. Friday. I'm sorry. Today's Monday. On Friday, that if you would like to purchase Money Masters Secret of Oz, then to send me an email at thestillreport@gmail.com. And Dalton did. And tomorrow the mail is running, and your package will go out in the mail tomorrow. And if anyone else is interested in purchasing the Money Masters and Secret of Oz, either one, I'm just going to say it. If you make a donation of $20 per video, to my PayPal is bhstill@gmail.com. Of course, I'm Beth Still. Then, and provide your address, I will ship you a copy of one or the other or both, and then, so they're $20 a piece. So that would be, and that includes postage.
Alberta, population of moose, 20,000.
Oh, moose.
Population of people, about 5 million.
Well, moose can be, a formidable foe.
Formidable, yes.
Formidable. I would have formidable.
XRP
Formidable.
Plumbing. Well, I don't know what's up. I'm waiting on Trump. Trump's the newsmaker.
Well, he has, I think he has a lot of people pushing at him on all sides. And I think he always tends to, in my opinion, make his own decision. He just likes to, he has always said that he likes to hear opposing views. He likes to have people who disagree with each other on a topic because it helps him to sort through it and make a decision. And there are a lot of things to consider. And also you're waiting for the USS something.
Lincoln.
To be in position closer, because it's now a ways away. You were saying that.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Wednesday or Thursday, probably Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, but it takes, Trump doesn't want to lose if he goes into Iran. He wants to take them out, all of them, so that it doesn't come back, next week. And, that implies a lot of people, a lot of planning. We've got a lot of good planning people in the Pentagon. And so they're going to town on that. And so if he does pull the string, they better start running for the hills.
Well, he also doesn't want any civilian casualties.
Or military casualties.
Well, of course, but I mean, civilian casualties would just be really bad politically.
Why are these people jumping on me for what I said about guns? All I said, it's the street cred or whatever you call it. You don't pull a gun. You don't brandish a gun unless you plan on killing somebody. You just don't pull out your gun and start throwing it around. It's not that you don't use it if you have to.
Well, but that
you don't brandish.
Well, that's there, and that's different from open carry, which just means you have it on you.
Right.
And visible. It's
if you
not.
Pull it out of that holster, that's different.
Right. Right.
A whole set of different legal things come into play.
Right. I just wanted to distinguish between those two because open carry is different than.
Bill, please listen to Julie Green's latest prophecy on snakes and President Trump's cabinet.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Well, that's a whole discussion for a whole other day. In any case, I think we've come to the end. God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America, and God bless all of you. Thank you. Amen.